Hey, it's Gabrielle. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about spices, baby. You guys asked me a lot about spices that should be in your pantry, that shouldn't be, and kind of how you can store them, organize them. So this video is all about organizing your spices. I'm gonna go over my top 24 spices. It doesn't have to be 24 because it's more than 24 in there, but I just want to kind of give you an idea of what you can have in your kitchen cabinets, how you can cook with them, and just what you should be collecting in your cooking journey with your spices. So let's open the cabinet. I do want to put this disclaimer and say some of these spices and seasonings have herbs in them. Now we all know and love herbs. I always suggest that you get herbs in their freshest form. So that means fresh parsley, oregano, basil, everything else. But just in case you either don't have fresh ones on hand, or maybe you are making something that's part of a spice blend, we could talk about some dried ones that you can use as well. Okay, so now that all of your jars are labeled and all the spices are filled in, let's look at the final product. This is the most satisfying part, and this is why you're here. So let's open the cabinet. Ooh, pretty and organized. This is the spice cabinet. Okay, so this cabinet is just a few of my favorite spices that I think should be in any kitchen. They're kind of the basics plus a little extra. So first we'll start with these because these are kind of like your go-to. So aside from your ordinary salt and pepper, which are in those jars over there, these are kind of a few. So okay, let's go through them like school. Allspice. I use allspice mostly in baking, maybe in cooking like Jamaican food or Caribbean food or something, but I do think that it has a place. Bay leaves, soups, stocks, stews, gumbo, anything hearty. I feel like bay leaves add to the vibe of the simmer. Cardamom for chai tea or anything that you want to have kind of like that chai, very earthy, warm flavor. Chili powder, Taco Tuesday, all the way, these two. You need chili powder and cumin. You cannot do anything taco related without those two. Curry powder, of course we love curry chicken and all the curry things. That always is in the pantry most of the time. Ground ginger, just because ground ginger, I mean, she's a cool girl. She can kind of float in anything. She can be in a baking recipe. She can be in a savory recipe. She can be in oatmeal. She can be in tea. She can be in everything. And it's really good for you. So ginger, definitely in your cabinet. Then we go up to the second. These are alphabetized, by the way, because I feel like that's the easiest way to keep track of your spices. Gumbo filet. Yes, it is a part of the spice pantry because, you know, gumbo is bae. I'm not going to talk too much on gumbo filet, but filet powder basically thickens your gumbo, and it also kind of adds this very robust, earthy, I don't really know how to describe it, but it makes your gumbo taste a certain type of way. It's basically ground sassafras, which gives your gumbo just a little bit more character. And like I said, it's a thickener, so kind of makes your gumbo a little more heartier and not as soupy. Italian seasoning, if you ever, quick simmering a sauce and you want some dried Italian seasoning, there you go. Nutmeg is one of those spices that can float between savory and sweet. You can put it in pasta sauce, Alfredo sauce, or you can put it, in a cookie recipe or a cake recipe. So love nutmeg. Old Bay for the seafood. It's a classic. She needs to be in your pantry because that is really Bay for sure. Granulated onion. Just like garlic powder, we love granulated onion or onion powder. Of course, if you can use onions fresh, as much as you can, do that. But sometimes if you don't have it on hand, use the onion powder. Oregano, same thing as the Italian seasoning and the basil. I would use it mostly for Italian recipes, or maybe, you want to add it to a salt blend or something. Paprika. Paprika is an interesting one. I feel like paprika is one of those spices people don't really know, like, what does she actually do? And I'll tell you. One, paprika adds color. Let's start there. They are the kind of, chili powder and paprika are very similar in color, but paprika really adds color to chicken, anything really. It'll add kind of like this reddish brownish hue, which I really love, but it also has like a smoky, very down to earth taste profile. So I think you need paprika, especially if you just want to sear a simple chicken breast or a piece of meat. Paprika is your girl for that. Cayenne, she's also one of those, she can float between the world of savory and sweet. Of course, it's just the spice and everything nice. Speaking of spice, you got pepper flakes. Pepper flakes, round of applause, because love pepper flakes. They just add the kick whenever you need it. It could be in a sauce, it could be in really anything that you want, just like that kick. Use pepper flakes. Poultry seasoning, if you're making chicken, some type of meat, dressing, my mom uses poultry seasoning. It's just one of those things, you probably don't use it that often, but it's just nice to be in the party. That's what poultry seasoning is here to do. Pumpkin pie spice for the fall and winter, or anytime, you want to do apples, oranges, cakes, pies, whatever. Pumpkin pie spice. Any tea, lattes, she's just in there. That's basically cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, cloves, and allspice, I believe. It might be a little star anise in there, but I feel like that's what's in pumpkin pie spice. Ground rosemary, or dried rosemary leaves, those exist with the oregano and the basil. It's just nice to have in a dried form if you ever want to make a rosemary salt, or coat it with meat, or coat the rosemary with meat, or coat the meat with rosemary. That's what I'm trying to say. Or just adding it to a sauce or something. Rosemary definitely adds a lot of personality in whatever you put it in. Black salt, I honestly don't use black salt too much, but I think it looks good in the pantry one. And also, if you want to finish or garnish anything with black salt, it definitely is a vibe. Like if I'm doing a salad or maybe some type of seafood dish or something that black salt will pop out on, I like to use it more as a finisher and a garnish than an actual salt that's being cooked in a dish or something. Sesame seeds, whenever you're wanting to make anything Asian, Vietnamese, Filipino, burger buns, anything, sesame seeds, I think have a place in your spice cabinet. Thyme, again, one of those rosemary, oregano, basil, Italian seasoning. Thyme is really one of my favorite herbs. You can put it in a sauce, you can put it in a salt mixture, you can, I don't know, anything that's simmering. I just feel like thyme adds to the vibe of it's one of those basic spices that really can float anywhere, and it's not gonna overtake whatever you're making. Last but not least, turmeric. We love turmeric. One, I love the shade that turmeric has. It's similar to curry powder, but it does not taste like curry powder. It's really good for your just digestive system, helps with inflammation, your immune system, and it just kind of adds a different taste profile. It's not as strong as curry powder, but it really will kind of overtake whatever you're making with turmeric, and it's going to add a yellow goldenish color to it. These right here, Bell seasoning. This is actually a spice for my friend Lauren from the Bell House, and these labels had Bell seasoning, so we put it in there. Dried parsley flakes, because I know y'all like the dried parsley because you be on Instagram with it. you know, you can just put it in there, but look how kind of just dull it looks. It doesn't look as fresh as regular parsley. So if you can ever use real parsley, fresh parsley, use fresh parsley. But it's nice, you know, again, just to be in the room, just to be in the party, parsley can be over there. Then we've got chicken seasoning, AKA chicken bouillon. It's just in a cute jar. I love adding chicken bouillon to like pasta water, rice water, anything that you are boiling, potatoes. Add a little chicken bouillon and add some flavor in there. And then this one is a blackening seasoning. It's actually a Cajun lemon pepper seasoning, but I put it as blackened seasoning. You know, it has its place for wings, from wings to salmon to chicken. You could put it on anything. Okay, so these seasonings right here are more so seasonings and spices that we use the most. Black pepper, of course, salt is back there. This is garlic powder, cinnamon, and Creole seasoning, AKA Tony's. My man, Tony. Tony's is just gonna give you that color every time. I like the color of it. Just a quick little Cajun seasoning. And then what else is back there? Salt and baking powder for baking. Those are the pantry items that I usually reach for the most. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is everything about the Spice Pantry. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure that you like and subscribe and share it to somebody that you love. I'll see you next time in the kitchen very, very soon. Peace, love, and good food to you.